Hey there, I'm going to shoot from the hip here, so if I have a boatload of ums and ahs, don't you judge me. As the case may be, I'm going to show you how to create batch processing actions from scratch. This would be your own, not the default ones that automatically come with the Adobe suite. Here, this works for Illustrator, Photoshop, and Adobe Bridge. What I normally like to do is open any file so I can create my actions here from scratch. As you can tell, I've already tested this, so I'm going to keep this particular one because it works. Another thing you want to pay attention to, because of the nature of the SVGs, they automatically default to RGB. Here, you want to make sure it's on RGB. I've tested it with CMYK and it gets messy, so that's just a small detail you want to pay attention to. For the sake of this tutorial, I will create a duplicate one from scratch. Here, I'm going to name this test 2 so that I can delete it later, because why have 2 of them when I have one already? I don't know why Adobe forces you to create a new folder and then a new action, but it does. I normally like to name this particular action the same exact name as the folder itself. It automatically starts recording. As you can see here, the recording is already engaged and stop is ready for your action. At this point, it's recording everything you do. You can take as much time as you want and it doesn't really much matter. What you do want to be careful is what your actual actions are. So the first action is select all. See the strokes are engaged. We'll apply our Navitas orange. See all these things here. I export Control E. Hit to pick your folder. We're going to change names later on. For the SVG options, I normally like to keep the decimals at 3 because 2 can be iffy. I'd say I have a 75% success rate of nothing getting broken, but at 3, so far it's been 100% success. There's that, and then you stop. This is now permanently until you delete it within your Adobe system. We can go ahead and close this out. When I ask you, do you want to save these changes for the black SVG, you want to say no, because otherwise you're going to have to redo your work, and that sucks. To test, there you go. I'm going to delete this because we have our actions. Now what do we have here? Next thing you want to do is open up any SVG. Since you have this here, you open up this, go down to batch. That's 2. Get to choose your folder. Since we've already done this before, it automatically defaults for to the last folder you were working with. If you wanted to choose another source folder, what files you want to process, here's your chance to change that. And then where do you want to put those new files? You choose your folder. Again, it remembers your last actions, so we're putting it in the orange SVGs. Save, okay, stop for errors, that's all fine. Then you just hit OK, you kick back, and you relax. It does the work for you. As a matter of fact, if you like watching paint dry, you can go into the destination folder and just watch it populate. I'm going to pause the video as it finishes all these things. This should take less than 5 minutes. Here's an interesting one. We have a problem one, and of course, whenever there are problems, it does bring up a dialog box. I just hit OK, because most of the time, the problem files will be less than the successful files, if the original SVGs were built correctly, of course. More than likely, we'll have to go back to these new orange files, SVGs, and rename, probably add the word orange to the name so that we don't get these confused. Quality check these by opening these up and fix whatever problem ones. There's probably going to be 5, 10 maximum, and that's going to be a no-brainer as far as fixing them. But at least it's better than doing all 60. As you can tell here, we choose all SVGs. There are 59 of them. So far we have 25. This is doing its thing. Alright, and we're back. It's better than doing everything manually. It batch processed everything successfully. Now we're just going to go in and do some quality control. I normally like to view SVGs through Adobe Bridge, because the only way that you can really open these things is through your web browser, and to click on all of these, that's just dumb. It's a pain in the ass. Since we're here at the source folder, we're going to the destination folder, and you can tell we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 problems, 7 problem ones that we have to go back and fix, which is not a problem considering there were 60 of them. So how do we fix them? Real quickly, just open it. Since these are solid, and then get rid of that. Just hit save, exit, done. Select all, swap the colors, get rid of the stroke, save, done. Same deal, you get the gist. Select all. Huh. That's weird. Save, done. Get rid of the stroke, save, done. Since you follow, I've got 2 more folders to do. Oh, as you can tell, on these original ones, let's switch views. on these original ones. I do have the black PNGs. What I did with, let's say, batch 1 is created a temporary folder so that when you do run the batch process, it's not going to process the PNG. So here's a temporary jail cell for these guys. Once I'm done with the batch process, I'll go ahead and cut and paste these guys back to their original folder. Any other questions? Just holler. All right, later on, brother. Bye.